During my younger days, I attended one of the lectures in my religious activity. Like, they basically sent us out, to meet up with other people from our religions, to like hang out and all that kind of shit. And so I attended one of these lectures that our guy was doing, where he basically drew on the chalkboard a bunch of numbers, like 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. And that was basically a representation of how far along someone is in their journey, of like basically being perfect or whatever. And he drew a guy representing, like that guy is at 15, value points or something, and Mr. Green is only at 10. And then he talked about like, should we consider Mr. Green to be shittier than Mr. Red, And I thought it was a really good lecture, because basically what he did, he basically signified that maybe Mr. Red has started out from number 5, and that's how far he's gotten. But then he also drew a line for Mr. Green that basically just went below 0. And that's basically a representation of how we don't all start out at the same point. And it's not like we're all like equally, great at everything or whatever. So I think it's a pretty good idea to consider this, because like, even if Mr. Red is further along in his journey, that doesn't mean that Mr. Green hasn't, done equally as much work on his part, to improve himself. And like, quite frankly, let's say that Mr. Green only started at like 5 or something. Like, so what? Like, it doesn't mean that Mr. Green can't, shoot past Mr. Red. I think this was a really good lecture, because it kind of puts into perspective that we shouldn't judge each other, think each other's shit or whatever, just because, we're each at our own level. I think that's fine. We don't have to consider ourselves, either perfect or garbage, Like, it's not like I haven't been, at, around 0 at some point. It's not, that doesn't mean I can't hit 20, or even beyond. It's not like I consider myself 20 now or anything. I know, it's just, I wanted to make this point because I see a lot of, a bunch of judgmental attitudes and so on, like even in our community, as I would like to call it. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think we should be more open to each other, realize that we're all basically just a bunch of traumatized kids, and try to be nicer to each other. Like, so what if someone's only at a 5 or a 0 or a 10 or whatever? Like, can't we just fucking be nice to each other, and try to fucking understand one another? Is that like really so hard? I think the Matrix does enough, to fuck with us.
Just like Jenny told me to. I ran so far and so fast that pretty soon I was all by myself, which was a bad thing. Bubba! Bubba was my best good friend. I had to make sure that he was okay. And on my way back to find Bubba, well, there was this boy laying on the ground. I couldn't just let him lay there all alone and scared the way he was. So I grabbed him up and run him out of there. time I went back looking for Bubba, somebody else was saying, "Help me, Forrest, help me." I started to get scared that I might never find Bubba.
Strong arm, I know my position is danger close. We got Charlie all over this area. I gotta have those fast movers in here now. Over.
Strong arm, wait one for flight.
Lieutenant Dan Coleman's dead. I know he's dead. My whole goddamn platoon is wiped out. Damn it!
Now copy this
What are
transmission.
you doing? Leave me here. Get away. Just leave me here. Get out.
Strong arm, how copy this
Ah!
over.
God, I said leave me here. God damn it.
Flag Lima 6, Flag Lima 6, this is Strong Arm. Be advised your fast movers are inbound at this time, over.
The level of my own judgment of others used to be incredibly high, and I would even judge myself in return. Because really, how can you judge someone else for their, misdeeds, and not judge yourself for your own? It just becomes a cycle of self-hatred. It does nothing but just harm everyone around.
Stop me! Get yourself out! Did you hear what I said? God damn it! Put me down! Get your ass out of here! I didn't ask you to pull me out of there, goddamn you! Where the hell you think you're going?
Get Bubba.
I got an airstrike inbound right now. They're gonna nade the whole area. Don't you stay here, God damn it! That's an order.
I gotta find Bubba!
It wouldn't surprise me if one of the ways that the Matrix tries to trap people here is by basically creating a zone of just judgmental attitudes, which result in you judging yourself. And if you think that you don't actually deserve to exit the Matrix, you're a piece of shit, and you're not worthy of leaving this place. And you could easily manifest that kind of reality for yourself. So I think it's very important that not only for other people, but also for ourselves, that we're able to just move on and not just get fucking hijacked in our minds. And I don't want to say that, you should just accept someone's shit or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm just talking about trying to just be a nice person, just because someone else, is at a 5, doesn't mean that you have to be at a 5 yourself, You don't have to kick someone down to a 0, just because you think they're shit at 5. Just be kind to one another, and a great philosopher once said,
everybody should treat each other with kindness. And don't be a dick.
Stop smoke! Get it out there!
If I'd have known this was gonna be the last time me and Bubba was gonna talk, I'd have thought of something better to say. Hey, Bubba. Hey, Forrest. Forrest. What just happened? You got shot. Then, Bubba said something I won't ever forget. I want to go home. Bubba was my best good friend. And even I know that ain't something you can find just around the corner. Bubba was gonna be a shrimping boat captain, but instead he died right there by that river in Vietnam. That's all I had to say about that.